Okay, right, guys, it is Ben and Matt here from Transform Mate, and we thought we'd just jump on Zoom and have a mini chat and debate based around exercise, activity, how you can progress, if you can progress during this period of COVID-19, and basically, hopefully, sort of answer some of your questions and a lot of the questions and emails and DMs that we are receiving, all based around exercise. I must sort of put it out there now. It's not going to be maybe what you would imagine. We're going to give you some truths. It may well not be what you want to hear, but at the same time, me and Matt, as always, are here to help you and provide you with the knowledge that we feel is going to allow you to progress in no matter what the circumstances. So, Matt, just so I'm going to sort of just intro you in slightly and just prompt you in regards to one of the sort of the countless emails that I've received even today, probably 3 emails today, saying about people are struggling to progress their workouts. And yeah, if you could just maybe hone in on what you would suggest, or just some of the ways. And again, I'll just butt in as and when, if that's cool.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So obviously we have clients prior to all this happening that were on progressive sessions. Now, what I mean by progressive sessions, I mean obviously the intensity was there, but they were mainly resistance based. And obviously, the majority of us now have had that sort of taken away from us with the closure of gyms. Now, yeah. So what I mean by that is, if you're on a progressive weights or resistance based session, you're probably quite limited to equipment that you've got at home. You may have some equipment, you may not, but yeah. So the first point of call of what we asked all of our clients was, what equipment do you have? Okay, because probably between now, unless they actually physically go out and buy and purchase weights or specific parts of equipment, in terms of increasing their sessions by load, it's going to be quite difficult. So then
just quickly, Matt, like to put it straight, I would say 90% of people get caught up, whether we're in COVID-19 or we're in regular day to day. Most people get caught up with just progressing through load, 100%. Day in, day out, week in, week out. It's probably the most overused progression out there.
100%, right? Yeah. Of course, load is a key progression.
It's a good measure, yeah.
But I think a lot of people, and again, I'm not calling out anyone in particular, but a lot of people kind of get lost in that aspect of just trying to lift as heavy as they can. Form goes out the window, and yeah, sort of
ego. That's what it is, ego.
Yeah, ego. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, other elements of the exercise or the session on a whole kind of get thrown out of the window. So yeah, going back to what I was on about, load would be the first sort of point of progression, in which, yeah, again, a lot of people are going to be quite limited. So then we start looking at other aspects of the session, such as tempo, repetitions, which are all, again, things that you should be factoring in to your session at a gym with resistance. But yeah, these are the kind of things that we're then going to sort of manipulate further in terms of making the session harder, if that makes sense. So say, for example, someone who is on a basic rep range of 10 to 12 repetitions, okay? We're factoring in the fact they don't have load, or they have very, very minimal load. So then we increase the repetitions further. So they might be doing a set of 20. Now, to make that even more intense, we can then look at tempo. Now, what we mean by tempo is moving something, an object, or even body weight from A to B, and how quickly you do that. So obviously you've got different phases of a movement, okay? A squat is a perfect example. You've got a time in which it takes you to come down into the squat. You've got a time in which you spend at the bottom or in the hole, what people refer to it as. And you've got a time in which you come back up to your starting position. So that is something that we can, again, manipulate. So a classic example of how I'm programming our guys currently would be, say, for example, a 4-1-4 tempo. Again, this can be done body weight. If they've
so explain that, Matt, for those guys that don't know what a 4-1-1 tempo would be, just really quickly and simply, with a simple exercise such as a press up.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll explain it on a press up. So, starting position, 4 seconds. Your first 4 seconds would mean you're 4 seconds down.
4 seconds. Then I would.
Then you'd pause at the bottom position for 1 second.
Yep.
And then 4 seconds on your concentric, which would mean coming back up. So 4 seconds down, 1 second pause, and then 4 seconds back up. And I can tell you now, if you factor that sort of training into your, those sort of factors into your training, you can still
progress.
Your sessions. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I think so that sort of puts to bed that anyone out there, and again, this is what people are coming to us with, is can we still progress? What are we going to get from this? Is it going to be really worthwhile? So I think like Matt's already illustrated that just by changing different variables other than load, you can certainly progress, which brings me on to like the next thing. But before I do move on, something that I would like to also just sort of call people out on is that obviously I feel like we're massively spoiled in regards to the facilities that we are provided on a day-to-day basis here in the UK and globally. Yeah, facilities are second to none when it comes to gyms, health clubs, even unit gyms now. Like they're very, very well equipped. Mm-hmm. This isn't always the case, but again, I know particularly for a lot of our target market that are looking to lose weight, lose fat loss, and transform their physique, you probably use 10% of that gym or that facility. So, and again, this is, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but a lot of people don't actually use that much kit anyway, and I feel like it's almost like it becomes an excuse that you need a particular facility or you need a particular item of kit or to achieve a result, and as much as it's great and lovely to have, it's not essential, surely.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think from you saying that, if you take things back, and again, I'm not just referring to bodybuilders in particular here, but if you take things back when they were probably limited to equipment, or they did have equipment, but it wasn't as advanced as
what it is basic.
Yeah. And those guys are still getting a result. Another classic example is someone whose focuses their training purely around calisthenics, which for those who don't know what that is just purely body weight, functional movements. Again, I have no doubt, I've not looked into this type of training personally, but I have no doubt that they keep their sessions progressive. They focus on those key movements, which I think a lot of it's pull-ups, press-ups, those main functional movements. And a lot of these guys are in really good shape, I must say.
Right. No, definitely. And what I was going to come on to just a second ago was like another fear that's coming back. So number one fear was, can I progress? What am I going to get from this training? Am I going to stand still? Am I going to go backwards? And again, just to quickly reiterate, no. As long as you do take action, you do you are executing a progressive plan still. Yes, it's not going to be low. Yes, it's not going to have a huge amount of variation in regards to exercises, but there are going to be enough variations still to progress. So we can tick that box and reassure you that you certainly can be using this time to your advantage for progress, and definitely for maintenance. So anyone out there who's looking to avoid essentially undoing any of their hard work, or they're looking to crack on now during this period, as I feel that you certainly should be, full steam ahead. This is your chance for sure. But fear number two that keeps arising as well is, a lot of our clients have done exceptionally well. You see their before and afters, you see their results, and a lot of them are, their physique and their body composition changes drastically. It's a fact. You can visibly see it.
Yeah.
But I think people are very fearful of losing muscle. Like that's the next sort of big fear that seems to be coming. Like, dare I say it, losing the gains. A lot of our clients aren't typically bodybuilders. Yeah, we don't really attract that, probably because I've got small guns as well. But for you guys that have heavily put a lot of time and effort into increasing muscle tissue, Matt, like, what's your thoughts on losing that
Yeah, so it's obviously nutrition is something that needs to be kept up in my opinion. It's quite key.
Whatever, right? As well, that
That's it.
stays the same no matter what your goal, right? As
Yeah,
well, would you
100%.
say?
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of people they think, yeah, the two coincide together, but they think, oh, if I can't train, what's the point of eating well? I think that's a
Yeah,
very common thing. But yeah, in regards to muscle tissue, going back to that, it's not something that just disappears overnight, and I think that's what a lot of people believe or think. Yeah, we all have that sort of fear, or we may appear to look flatter because we're, I don't know, not able to do specific things, but you won't just
again,
look.
a lot of this is in the head, right?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. You're always going to be your own worst critique, 100%. You always will. No matter if someone says you're looking good or you've done well, you've lost weight, you'll always find a way in which you can judge yourself and tell yourself you've got to do a bit more, which is good. Which is good, but you've also got to be able to recognise and praise yourself. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, losing tissue is not something that just happens overnight. Um, Obviously, it is something that takes a lot of effort to increase.
Yeah,
So, as we all know, um, yeah, muscle tissue. It takes to increase muscle tissue. It takes a lot of time. It takes an effort, and it takes a lot of progressive sessions. Um, and those who think it does happen overnight, then you're extremely wrong.
yeah,
But yeah, going back to what I said, it's not summarizing. It's not something that you just lose overnight. You will sustain the majority of your muscle tissue. Um,
as long as you keep your diet on point
your
and
diet
you still
point,
train
and you
you
stay
know, to
active,
a degree. Yeah.
100%. And I don't like jumping into this too much, but because it's quite a complex subject, but you'll always have the element of muscle memory as well. So your body simply will not forget. Say, for example, you go back to the gym, you feel slightly weaker, you're not maybe where you were at post lockdown or quarantine. Um, your body will not forget, and it will revert back fairly quickly if that makes sense. Say, for a
Yeah.
classic example, if you were pressing 20-kilo dumbbells, chest press, you go back to the gym and you're pressing 16s, give or take 2 or 3 weeks, you'll probably be back to that baseline
Yeah.
strength. Yeah, whereas before that would probably taken a while to build up.
One thing that I would actually like both myself and Matt to demonstrate, actually, so for anyone that feels that they need a push
Mm-hmm.
or that they're struggling to get an effective session, or they want to challenge us to whether they feel like you can even progress, or along them lines, anyone that is in that category, we are going to post a workout below that we would like you to try. There'll be two variations of this workout based on your ability, of course. There's no right and wrong. But yeah, depending on your experience, you can choose either or. But both will be a immense challenge for your body, for your mind. And I'll put it out there that this workout will probably be as intense as you have done in any gym. And like I say, I must just quickly admit, I'm not saying we don't need gyms anymore because they're a great tool. And if we've got them at our disposal, like let's get in them. It's the ideal. But what I am saying is, if you're currently making an excuse not to exercise because of not having a gym available, I want to call you out pretty much and simply say, if you're looking for that excuse, you're probably the same person that made the same excuse that you couldn't attend the gym as well.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it at, how it is typically.
Mm.
I'm not saying, again, I'm not putting everyone in that same category, but there really is no excuse
Yeah.
not to, if health and fitness is one of your main values, there's no reason why you still should be chipping away, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah. Just to add quickly, so when we do post this workout, just remember that the main things that we are emphasizing are going to be tempo, rest time maybe, and
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, those are going to be the three elements. So do make sure you look at what tempo you're performing the exercise at, how many repetitions you're performing it for, and your rest time in between. Like we've said during most of this this Zoom call, that those are going to be the three main factors in which we're going to manipulate
And this is something that we say to all of our clients when they first start their coaching with us. You should not be doing the same session twice.
Yeah.
Or 3 times or 4 times, a week after week. Yes, you may be doing the same exercise. You may feel like you're doing a very similar session, but it should have different progressions, adaptations, or, you know, it should change week to week, for obvious reasons. And that is why we get results. As much as it may well look like sometimes our clients are performing very similar exercises, but there will always be something different that that person didn't do last week. They're always going to be getting, like, you know, as Matt mentioned, more reps, more load, different tempo, a progressive exercise. There's always something that you can be doing. And again, this goes for now. So on this matter, if you've set your routine out and you've done the same thing for a matter of 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 days, like, I admire you for taking action. But in regards to getting a result, I just want to interrupt your pattern and hopefully take this on board that you should look at some progression.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it's okay hitting a 5K run and doing a 5K run every day. And like I say, it's great to do, and mentally it's great to do. But this is for the guys that really want to see progress and get a result during this period, which, again, like, is no reason why you shouldn't be in this category. You must be saying to yourself, but is this sustainable? Is this going to get a result long term?
Yeah.
Like, is getting up at 9 a.m. and doing Joe Wicks with the kids going to get you a result every single day? No, it's going to make you get up. It's going to put you in a good state of mind. It's great to do with the family. And of course, it's positive, but is it enough to get you that result? You know, is going for a run every single day really going to give you at the same distance, taking the same time? Is it going to push you? So even with, like, when you're doing, doing cardio, think about your distance, think about the time in which you do it, think about maybe carrying some loads, whether that be carrying some water or like a weighted vest, or there's always things you can be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think a lot of people, well, I think one is, it's evident that as a nation, suddenly we've become extremely active. Like,
yeah, which
everyone,
is good, but
yeah, it's really good. Yeah, everyone's either doing a run, they're doing some HIIT training, they're doing a resistance-based program, whatever it is they're doing. We have become a lot more active. But if you're someone who isn't used to, say, exercising, just adding on from what Ben's just said there, I don't feel like it's going to be sustainable for you to be doing 6 HIIT workouts a week, having been quite sedentary with your work life and outside of that as well, because it's not going to be sustainable. As much as you may be getting through these sessions, the fun is definitely going to go on.
For me, to just butt in, there'll be two things that happen.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee this without seeming smug, but number one, you're going to get bored, and number two, you're probably going to get injured.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're not used to exercising and you just smash a workout every single day, you can do that forever. All of a sudden, without eating right, sleeping right, drinking right, and putting all the building blocks. And even if you are doing all that, you still need to take adequate rest. And again, this is why it's so important. I'm not trying to complicate things, because if you're taking action and you're moving, you know what, you're like 1,000 steps ahead of a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
But again, thinking about taking things to that next level and coming out of COVID-19 in the best shape of your life, in the best physical health and fitness, mentally and physically, like, if you're thinking that sort of game plan, I would propose actually looking at a professional periodized program, where you may well be hitting different body parts, or at least splitting things up between a resistance and a cardio session or something, because boredom and I'm waiting for the injuries just to start springing in because people aren't used to doing it, and it's through no fault of their own. You can't expect your body to be able to withstand that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I couldn't agree more, to be honest. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll leave it there, just to try and keep these Zooms nice and sort of short and sharp. And we've just touched on activity and exercise. Please do give the workout a go, in which we're going to post below. And give us your feedback. Like, did it test you? Did you find it hard? Did you find it easy? We love to hear how you feel during the session, or even a day or two after.
Yeah.
Just be brutally honest. If it's too easy, we'll have to ramp it up a little bit for you. So
I guarantee if you're following the protocols, and again, I'm not sort of blowing our own trumpet here, then you will find this session hard. Yeah, if you're following everything correctly, again, just a reminder: tempo, sets, reps, and time. Then yeah, you will find this session hard.
So yeah, I hope you found this again, this sort of sporadic, spontaneous Q&A with me and Matt helpful. Again, if you did, please do like and share this across your platforms, or tag anybody's in there if it's of relevance. And like I say, we'll definitely be doing more and more on potential nutrition or mindset, other areas that we feel could benefit you, not only during COVID-19, but for the long term as well. So yeah, if you've got anything that you'd like to hear, please do again let us know, and yeah, let us know if this sort of Q&A works for you. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cheers. Take care, guys. See you soon.